Hello, welcome to Dreamwalker Tarot. My name is Dawn, and this is the November reading for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Mars. Please go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell for post notifications. So Taurus, the first card, and by the way, I'm using the Magic and Mediums Oracle that's created by Aniel Reed and illustrated by Ash Color. And the first card that came out was Move in the reverse. And so the move card is basically talking about, obviously moving, becoming a little bit more physically fit, being concerned with your physical health, but also your emotional health. And it's really just talking about, being concerned with moving your body. And so, and implementing a sort of physical exercise regimen that is beneficial to you physically, but also, like I said, emotionally. And also in doing so, creating like a workout schedule or workout plan that taps into your ability to commit to yourself, to your improvement, and also will help you if you use those same methods in completing workouts. Will also help you acquire those same skill sets that you need to kind of manifest achievement in other areas of your life. The move card also speaks about image and how you look at yourself, but also importantly, pressure from other people outside of yourself that are it's kind of like trying to force you to maintain a certain image. So one of the reminders for this card is to not let other people and their negativity and insecurity negatively impact you in any way. The second card that came out for you, Taurus, is the Kitchen Magic card. And so obviously some of you might be in the kitchen, you might be good cooks, you might be, kind of like preparing for like Thanksgiving is coming up. But in relationship to the move card, Kitchen Magic is talking about the ability to use herbs and spices and using those in a way that magically benefit your life. And so if you are working towards losing weight, researching herbs and things that you can do in your own kitchen with the supplies and that you have to kind of create teas or decoctions or special blends or tinctures or things that you can kind of put together using medicinal herbs to kind of get the outcomes that you're looking for in terms of physical, taking care of your physical, right? There are a lot of herbs that we have in our kitchen that can be used, for a number of things. And so doing a little bit of research about that can be beneficial, especially, like I said, if you're trying to work towards losing weight. There are herbs that can help support that change in your life. And also, if you are like in the process of working out, you also know that eating healthy is a great way to basically accomplish, it's like a double thing. It's like working out and eating well, basically accomplish the goals that we want in terms of physical fitness. And so I do feel like there is a lot of that present in your energy field for November. But in the reverse position, the Kitchen Magic card also speaks about your ego and your identity and how those things can sabotage teamwork and any type of successful product. Because there's nothing worse than having two cooks in the kitchen and also not being aware of the energy that you put out, because it does affect like the stew. It affects everything overall. What you put in is what you're going to get out, right? So the next card is the Attraction card. And this is weird because this all like really, really goes together. It's not weird, it's appropriate, it's spirit. So the next card is the Attraction card. And attraction, it is what it is. And because of the card itself, some of you might be dealing with a Gemini. The twins are here in this thing, but it's also really goes back to what the move card was talking about, was, about your own self-image and the way that you're looking at yourself. And so some of you might be feeling like, you really need to take the time to kind of focus on your physical body, start working out, getting healthy. And that is supported by the magic that you create in the kitchen and how you cook, being mindful of what you cook, what you put into your body, being mindful of moving, not just kind of being stagnant in your energy and just kind of like, laying around. And I feel like during the past full moon, this is something that is like illuminated to you, right? Because your temple is your temple and you should treat it as such. But I feel like a lot of you are kind of like looking at yourself in the mirror and not necessarily being happy with what you see back. And of course, we are talking about energy here. And this might be you, but it can also be someone in your energetic field who feels this way, specifically if you are dealing with someone or someone's in your direct energy field that is a Gemini, because I do see that here represented with the twin card. When we put all of this together, there's also the idea of like attraction, but really the law of attraction, that basically everything that you encounter in your life appears there because it's an energetic match to you. And with the twins being represented here, it looks like in some ways, some things about yourself are being reflected back to you in order to give you the opportunity to really see yourself in a clearer way and to be able to do the work that needs to be done to kind of, to get right? Some of this may be reflected back to you with your relationships with other people, your twin flames, which, like I said, again, there's like a Gemini energy present here, any soulmates, family, loved ones, children that can mirror back your needs, your desires, and your fears. And they come back to you so that you can really see them for what they are. But also, energetically speaking, when you are moving your body and you're healing your body, and your mind, your physical temple, but also your emotional body and your spiritual body, you attract to you the things that are energetically matched with you on that higher level of vibration. And so I do feel that is kind of what is happening with you during the month of November, or relatively soon, by the end of the year, right? Let's move on and see what the tarot has in store for us. Okay, so we are using the True Black tarot deck for this portion of the reading, and I will be working with the Celtic Cross. And so in the first position for the Celtic Cross is the current situation that you're going through, and this is being represented by the sun in the reverse. The sun is usually, the sun represents like the brightest, one of the brightest stars that we have, right? In the reverse, though, the sun speaks about being a little bit unsure, kind of struggling a little bit with self-confidence, and the day-to-day of life, right? And the sun card in the reverse is asking for you to tap into your joyful nature, to kind of have fun, to not worry about the setbacks that you've had recently that kind of have you feeling a little bit unsure about your path right now, and to really just kind of focus on the joy of life. Because, the sun card can kind of speak about a little dark patch in your life, but because it is the sun card and there really is no horrible thing that's associated with the sun card, even if it is in the reverse, whatever sadness that you're feeling, whatever doubt you're feeling is very temporary. And so but the sun card is just asking you to tap into the things that make you most happy and the things that bring you joy, so that you can stop worrying about whatever it is that setback that you're having in your life. Additionally, this particular card in this particular deck, the card that's centered around the centered around the figure's face in the card is a starburst motif that represents the 9 planets of the heliocentric solar system. And so with that being said, the number 9, particularly for you, Taurus, has a special type of meaning to you. It holds a special value to you. Whatever 9 is associated with in your life, that is the place where you can find the joy, so you can kind of flip your sun that's upside down, flip your smile from being upside down into the upright position. So whatever 9 means to you, that's where your joy lies. What is crossing the sun card in reverse is the 8 of Wands in the upright. The 8 of Wands is basically talking about incoming messages. This might be something that you've been waiting for, because coming out of the 7 of Wands, which is about like things being delayed, you might have been waiting for something to come in. You might have been waiting to get some messages about something really important in your life. And that is the reason why your sun card is in reverse, because something that you were waiting for has been delayed. But it looks like in the month of November, whatever you were waiting for is going to be coming into you. You're going to get a message about something that you've been waiting for. That's going to, and at that time, it's going to be everything that you've been waiting for that's been delayed is going to start moving at a quicker pace. For some of you, this can mean taking a quick trip, going out of town, taking a little bit of a vacation, kind of going away. Someone that you might be waiting to speak to might reach out to you. And so that is kind of what is crossing your sun at this moment. It feels like you've been waiting for something for a while that has made you feel a little bit delayed, put you in a little bit of a sad, depressive mode, because it feels like you are being stalled out. But it looks like in November, you're going to be getting messages about whatever that thing is that you are waiting for. In the space of what's happening in the subconscious, there is the 7 of Cups. And so the 7 of Cups is talking about procrastination, illusions, fantasies, and daydreams. Really what I see when I see this card in relationship to whatever it is that you're waiting for, it feels like a little bit of a smoke and mirrors. Smoke in mirrors. The 7 of Cups is showing a bunch of cups that have different things in them. And so when we see this card, it's a reminder to be careful with what our reality is, and the reality that we're living, and not creating a false image, but also being wary of things that do come into your realm. Whatever this new messages are, be sure that you read the fine print, because when the 7 of Cups are at play, things are not necessarily always what they seem to be. It's like you're presented with something, but there's strings attached, or something, you see something, but you're not fully aware of the things that are happening in the background, or you don't have the full information about something. And so you want to kind of be careful, especially if something is coming in that you've been waiting for. You want to be careful to really kind of make sure that you get all the full information about whatever it is that comes into your sphere, especially during this time. The 7 of Cups also is a time for really realizing the dreams that you have, and kind of turning those dreams into a goal. It really feels like you have some things that you kind of want to do, and it feels like you've been on pause for a while. And so your productivity is something that is going to be kind of skyrocketing during this time. But you kind of want to be aware of what's going on, but don't let this lead to you procrastinating or being indecisive about the dreams that you have for yourself and the goals that you want to accomplish. But you do want to be careful about what you're manifesting in this world, and then putting the work and the action behind it, because once you make the choice about what it is that you're trying to do, then the action is also required for those things to actually become truth. So it's not about just dreaming about them. It's also about putting in the work and the action into doing that. And that is kind of at the subconscious of this. Okay. In the past, it seems like you are kind of worried about your legacy. It looks like you're worried about the things that you're going to be passing down, particularly through like your familial line, right? The Hierophant in reverse is really speaking about community, and it's speaking about tradition and your beliefs, and your cooperation. And that could be your religious beliefs, your spiritual beliefs, but really what you believe in terms of family with the Six of Cups here. This is really talking about like your childhood, your children, your parents and your relationship with your parents, and your ideals and beliefs surrounding family and what family does and what family is, right? And I think you're kind of struggling with your role as the head of your family, and as a person that leads your family. The Hierophant is really your core card, Taurus. Like the Hierophant really stands for Taurus, because you guys are spiritual beings. But I think also too, you're like really in this state where you are trying to kind of like step away from the traditional way that you were raised, and worrying about the way that you want to kind of incorporate your own thing, or kind of going your own way when it comes to the structures that you're going to set in place in your own household, right? You might want to, or in the past wanted to have like a very a non-traditional family structure that's different from the way that your family is usually structured. And so you might have kind of encountered a situation where people that were in your family didn't really understand what it is that you were trying to do in terms of the way that you were establishing your own family structure. But the Hierophant card in the reverse is really speaking about kind of going your own way. And this is something that you decided in the past, and that's kind of currently playing out. So you might be a little bit regretful about your decision to do that, because it might not be playing out exactly the way that you saw it going. But like I said, with the Sun card in reverse and the Messages card, for the incoming messages that's coming to you, it looks like you're going to be able to really start to develop a plan and institute a plan for those things that you wanted to do in the past. Because of whatever delays that happened, it looks like it's going to kind of be coming to a close. And so now you're going to be able to really sort of navigate this path that's outside of your traditional path in terms of like your family structure, how you raise your children, the legacy that you want to leave behind, not just for yourself and for your own namesake, but also for your children, if you have children, or if you're planning to have children, their namesake. So that's kind of like really what's in the past of this current situation. In the position of like your highest ideals and your expectations, is the Three of Wands in the reverse. And the Three of Wands is really speaking about kind of like striking out and like doing your own thing. It's really about expansion. It's really about laying plans, making plans, planning for the future, and kind of like planning for anything that might go wrong or could go wrong. For some of you, this could be making plans to travel. I feel like that just came up with another card that we already pulled, about traveling, going back to school, starting a new business. I feel like this was a lot of the plans that you had for yourself, these are goals that you wanted to accomplish, personal goals that you wanted to accomplish for yourself. And for whatever reason, there does seem to have been a delay of those plans. So if you were planning on going to school, or planning on traveling, or starting a business, it's like you had these amazing, this amazing vision for what you wanted to do, but for whatever reason, there have been some delays in that. And I think, right now you've kind of like scaled back on those amazing visions because you're trying to be a little bit realistic about what you can and cannot do. And I think you're really going to come into the space where you understand that it's not just about the plan, it's not just about what you want to do. It's really about the preparation to execute the plan. And that is what the Three of Wands is talking about. It's really kind of like sitting down and mapping out the steps that you need to take, how you need to take them, and being a little bit more methodical about how you proceed going forward. I mean, like I said, there does seem to be delays for these plans in your life, but it looks like in the month of November, that is going to kind of flip upside down, and it's going to kind of like move forward really rapidly. So in preparation for that, you need to prepare, because if you don't prepare to succeed, you're going to prepare to fail, right? And so planning and preparation is really, really key right now in terms of moving forward and executing all the goals and mission, that you want. And I really do feel like this isn't just about you. This is about all the people that are close to you and the people that are around you. Like I said, there's like this sense of community and family and really purpose, and you're not just doing this for yourself, you're doing this for all the people around you, and you're hoping that they'll come along, especially if you're going on a different path than what everybody else around you has done. You really want this to succeed, and you don't want this to fail. So I kind of feel like you're stressing out about that a little bit unsure of if you're going to be able to really execute. So really sitting down with someone, which is another thing that the Hierophant represents, is someone that's an elder, someone that you trust, someone that you can go to speak to about your issues and your concerns, and really kind of like if you need the help to plan some things out, especially the things that you're not familiar with or the things that you don't know, like it's okay to ask for help. But really at this stage, in order to execute those plans that you have, there is a certain sort of planning stage that needs to happen, and a certain amount of work that needs to go into executing that plan. In the position of the near future is a King of Cups and the Anant card. The Anant card is kind of unique to this deck, and it really signifies, it's kind of like the World card, which is like about cycles, about repetitive cycles. While you are going to be in a place where you feel emotionally balanced and you feel emotionally supported, I feel like this whole thing about you making plans and executing your plans and kind of like doing what needs to get done, but getting trapped in a space where, you're delayed and then you're worrying about whether or not you're going to be able to do what you need to do is a cycle that you tend to fall into. The Anant card really speaks about the never ending, right? The eternal and the infinite, which is really about the creator, right? It's about the thing that grows and exists outside of us. And really and truthfully, it's about breaking the rules, right? But it's also about a cycle of growing and changing. It's a cycle about being in the in-between, and that's kind of where you're going to be, right? You're going to be in the in-between because now you're going to be at the start of a new cycle in your life where you're going to be worried about growing the things that you have been delayed on growing and really just moving forward. And so the whole goal of the near future is to break out of the patterns that have caused you to fail in the past, and to really, like I said, this is really about instituting a plan and executing the plan and doing the work to execute the plan, right? So you are going to be emotionally supported in that. The universe is definitely supporting you in that. And so that is something that you want to keep in mind. But it's like that leftover piece of thing, you have that little thing that's left over, that is not explained, that is in touch with spirit, that is exalted in the way that you look at the world and the way that you want to show up in the world and the things that you want to do in the world, right? And so as a fetus grows, you're in that stage where you're growing now, and you're in a new start cycle of your life where you're growing not only just emotionally, because I feel like that component is a component that was missing in the past that's been added to you now. You're more emotionally stable, you're more emotionally mature, and I think that is going to definitely be the deciding factor about how things are going to proceed moving forward. the Three of Swords is what's representing your current approach, right? I feel like, like I said, in the near future, you're going to be emotionally balanced. But I do feel that is because you're coming out of a space where you've been hurt in the past. And so now you're in the space where you're kind of healing from some of the heartbreaks that have happened to you, the losses that you've had, feeling a little bit isolated, and just a time of being really emotionally in pain and being hurt, right? And this can be personal, this can be professional. If you've suffered an unexpected loss or delays in your life, in matters of the heart, or like I said, in your professional life as well. This is really something that is in your sphere as far as how you're showing up in the world. I feel like those things have really had a huge impact on you and the way that you see yourself and the way that you're navigating. People who deal with heartbreak tend to really be very cautious about the things that they do. But this card in particular is asking you, are you the heart or are you the sword? Are you the person that caused the heartbreak in the past, or are you the person that has been hurt, right? And this card is basically saying that you should be in a space where you're asking yourself, is there anybody that I've injured? Have I wronged anyone? Have I done anything to anyone that has caused them unnecessary pain and unnecessary suffering? Mm-hmm. And to really put yourself in a space where you can make amends with these people and also with yourself, and to heal from that, so that you can heal and move forward in the best kind of way, where, like I said, you show up in this world as the King of Cups, who is fully healed from all the pain that you've endured, and also the pain that you may have caused, and really just come to terms with that type of heartbreak, right? In the position of your current environment is the Page of Wands and the Hermit card in reverse. And so this is one of two things. Because it's falling in the space of your current environment. You could be dealing with someone who is a child, someone who might be a little bit emotionally immature. They could be young, or they could just act young. And they're also they're a fire sign. So a Sagittarius, an Aries, or a Leo, right? Or with the Hermit in reverse could also signify a rather bitchy Virgo, right? Okay, who's very critical. And so this does not necessarily always have to represent a person. It could also represent the energy that's attached to what these signs believe in. So again, we have a Virgo, and we have a fire sign, so Aries, a Sag, or a Leo. But we can, if we take it outside of the signs itself, we're talking about the energy. So we're talking about someone who's overly critical, someone who is withdrawn, and that type of energy could be affecting your ability to create, because it's restrictive to you in the way that it hits you when it comes to you taking chances. And I feel like with the page here of wands, you're really going to be in the state, or you're in the environment where there's a lot of creativity happening. Like I said, you could be planning a new business. You could be planning on moving. This is really about risk. It's really about adventure. It's really about kind of setting out on like doing your own path. And I feel like on the back of that, maybe your own criticism of yourself, and having faith in stepping out and doing things, that are not a part of what you would normally do. Like you might be a little bit afraid of that, but this energy is really what is surrounding you. So it's kind of like a push and pull for you between these two types of energies, being really carefree and just throwing everything to abandon, and also being critical of yourself and really having a lot of self-doubt. But the thing about the Virgo card is, the Hermit card, is that the Hermit, as well as the Virgo, are very methodical people. And so if you are able to, in your environment, attach the two elements of creativity and passion and drive and forward thinking and thinking outside of the box with the element of the Virgo, which is really methodical and really planning and preparation, I really do feel like you could have something like a winner on your hands, right? And whatever it is that you are working on starting, and this information coming into you this month is really going to catapult you in that space. I feel like now is a good time to really sit down and really hammer out all the ideas that you have and really kind of institute a plan in order to kind of like execute what needs to be executed. What you need to know: the Ace of Swords, and also the High Priestess in reverse. With the Seven of Cups in these two cards, the Ace of Swords in reverse, and also the High Priestess in reverse. The High Priestess is really representative of Pisces energy, right? And with the Ace here, the Ace is representative of truth. So what you need to know is that there might be someone in the midst of your plans or of your preparation that you're trying to make that is not 100% truthful. And they're coming from a place of, that's the word I'm looking for. They might be a little bit deceitful. Just to be plain and straight, they might not be honest, right? And so you need to know that whatever you're doing, whatever you're planning, that you need to look at it for what it really is, and not an illusion or not something that someone is presenting to you in a certain way to make it look good, but really, what is it really, right? And so that is something that you're going to have to take the time to do, is to really sit down and figure out if what something is someone's presenting to you is actually the truth. And I think intuitively you will know it, but you just want to be sure that you're getting the truth about whatever it is that you're venturing into. Like I said, check the fine print. Okay, that is something that you need to know moving forward. Don't rush into anything. Take your time. Like I said, plan, but also make sure that the things that are being presented to you are actually what they are, and that you're not being, someone's not trying to pull the wool over your eyes. And that is specifically a person that has Pisces in their chart, right? Yeah. In the position of, the outcome is the the Queen of Swords and the Knight of Cups in the reverse. And so, again, this could be a person that's being represented in your life, and the swords represent Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius energy in your field. The Knight of Cups represents Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, right? And so there seems to be some sort of like interaction between these two individuals. The Knight of Cups in the reverse is someone that could be, like I said, it might not necessarily be the sign, but it could be someone who is, like a romantic at heart. But in the reverse, they tend to be a little bit moody, a little bit snappy, especially with their words. With the Queen of Swords here, the Queen of Swords is someone who tells the truth, but they might not tell the truth in a way that is nice. They can come across as really biting. They're telling the truth, but telling it in a really in kind of like a hurtful way. Like they're coming across a little bit bitchy. So these could be two energies that are kind of like feuding with each other in the outcome. And so you kind of want to be mindful of that. You're showing up as the King of Cups. So these might be two separate individuals, or it could just be the overall energy of what's to come and what you might have to deal with. Like as an outcome of the situation. Like someone's not going to be too happy and they're going to be very vocal about that. But again, this is you moving it to the beat of your own drum, and this is you moving on your own path. And as long as you are planned and you're prepared, you just need to let people know what it is that you're trying to do. But you also need to have the plan to back it up. In terms of, the relationship between these two, I feel like the Knight of Cups might be coming around to kind of like offer like a peace offering to this queen, but I really don't feel like she believes it or she's going to accept it, and she will be very vocal in explaining to you what that is. I don't know what that means, but please let me know how that works out. Thank you so much for listening. I'm going to give you the advice card, and that advice card is the number 9 again, 9 for perception. And the message for that card is with energy, sometimes a slight shift in perception is all that's needed. Remember, nature strives to retain balance. It is only our perception and labels that cause us to think otherwise. Is there a situation in your life that you are viewing from a very rigid perspective? Are you certain that you are at the center of all the drama around you? Perhaps cultivating the ability to step outside of the drama and see the issue from every different viewpoint will shift your judgment of this person or situation from intolerable to simply it is, and as it is, it won't remain so for long. Letting go of the tether that holds you to a certain viewpoint also frees the situation up to go to the natural way and get back into balance. So again, whatever this 9 signifies in your life, that is where the joy is, and follow your joy. Okay, we've come to the end of the reading. Oh my God, thank you so much for sticking around. Thank you for listening. Please leave me a comment and let me know if this resonates, or if this reading is helpful to you in any way, or how it's manifesting in your life. Share it with someone that you feel can benefit from the messages here. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell for post notifications. Thank you, Taurus, and I will see you soon.